Yes. All right. Retrospective thought. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to gather your thoughts after something that happened right in front of your face that you should never have to witness. It takes a moment to really think about it. The reactions, hear the reactions from politicians, also hear the reactions from just pundits, talking heads to the media. And I got some things I want to share, some retrospective thoughts. Um, you know, since I don't live in the United States of America, although I am an American citizen, right? Born and raised, I see things from a slightly different angle, right? And the angle is real because I know what it's like to grow up and live in the United States of America in a city, Washington D.C., Northeast D.C., right? For those that know of that area, Kingman Park, Capitol Hill East, right? Um, I know what it's like to grow up in the United States. I mean, that's my nation. That's where my family has been for centuries. You see, but there's something that I believe people need to focus on, and not focus so much on Trump, but focus on what Trump represents and who is behind it. Because, you know, to pull and deceive, to pull the wool over people's eyes, you have to start off with a deception that they will allow. You know, you got to get them to accept some lies first to go along with some basic uh, foul premise that's just not right. And that's exactly what has happened in 24 hours. There is like a movement to get Americans to not understand what just happened in front of their eyes. Now, the media, in my opinion, bears the biggest blame for Donald Trump, a criminal, a sexual assaulter, right? Um, of the civil type, right? There's something really strange about a media, major media corporations choosing voluntarily to not fact check, to not hold Donald Trump to his lies for years. It's essentially their fault. It is journalists' jobs to uncover the truth and to tell people the truth and to correct people, not allow persons to lie in front of you. That's not a journalist's job. A journalist's job is to uncover, you know, the truth and go through the lies, examine them. But that's not what happened in this case. In this case, we had fishy enough corporations that didn't seem so eager to tell people who and what Donald Trump is to them. Donald Trump is your worst nightmare. He is your worst nightmare. And if the media didn't tell people that, then you should blame the media for being part of it. Um, it's not a, it's not a, you know, it's not hard to figure out that billionaires often like to own media companies, right? And well, who are those billionaires? Do they all know each other? Um, what do they get out of somebody like Trump becoming president versus what do they get out of it if they tell the truth? Well, here's the thing. How could so many people know the truth except the major media companies? How could they not know? Is it so top secret, Jeffrey Epstein? Like, was there no crack journalist that could, break through and leak all that information out there? No, it doesn't seem to be that in this case. Now, it's funny because people get all kinds of stuff out there. And think about this, there have to be some form of cooperation for what just happened to have happened. Donald Trump incited a, a riot, an invasion, an attack on the Capitol because he wasn't happy with the election results. Yes. And he sent armed people there. Yes. Sure, he will say he didn't know, but come on, that's the journalist's job to figure out, right? Yeah, it is. It is. Now, think about this. Now you're going to hear more truths about Donald Trump. But not that the truths you didn't know already shouldn't have been disqualifying. There's no way you could have a country where someone could just walk into it like that, commit all these crimes in people's faces, and get away with it unless there's another element to this picture, because you could never convince me that going along with that is following the law. You could never convince me of it. I think the people would have to be fools, especially the poor people, um, and the middle class people, because you pay the taxes to the lawmakers who were supposed to hold Trump accountable. And what did they say? You pay taxpayers you pay the salary of the judges. And what did they say? They said, oh, well, Trump, no sitting president can be prosecuted for a crime. Okay, so he was sitting, so they had to wait till he leave office to prosecute him. Then he leaves office. Did he get prosecuted? How long did it take them to prosecute him? So that means something different. If they tell you you cannot prosecute a sitting president, how can anyone later accept that he must not be prosecuted first before he's ever allowed to run? How is that not baked in the cake? I mean, if you could just walk in there and be the biggest criminal of all, get away with all of these things and not be prosecuted, then why would anyone else follow the law and pay taxes? That just defies all logic. And this man is about to become the president that you give your tax dollars to so he can actually rob you again? Do you understand what would be happening in Europe if they saw something like that? Folks would be rioting. You would be out. Because you know why? Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. No security agency can allow an individual like this to lead the country. It's a direct assault on the democracy itself. It's a direct assault. And it's a direct assault on the Constitution and the rule of law. It's a direct assault, meaning that one assault begs the question, why does anyone else having a felony record matter when they're trying to get a job? Why? When this man has 30 something felonies, how is he allowed to be the president? That is a job. That's the highest job in the country. How's that possible? You have more. That's the highest government job in the country. What other government job can you have with 30 something felonies? Since when is that possible? So I'm just having a second day. What's up, Donnie? I'm just having a second day thought about this. You all are about to pay taxes to a person that robbed people in broad daylight. How could anyone be asked to do it again? How can anyone be asked to do it again? I don't get it. I don't get that at all. And I don't buy it at all. And you know something? I don't think American people should buy that at all. The lawmakers, Congress people, senators, it is their job to shut that down. And they receive taxpayer money too. We pay their salaries. It is their job to is to stop exactly what Trump has been doing. How can you be in charge of a purse when you're willing to work with a thief? Yo, I don't think people should. I'm not saying go out and do a whole bunch of crazy shit. I'm not saying go about things like MAGA. But what I'm saying is that this man got a whole lot of days before he's sworn in, if it goes that far. And I'm thinking nobody, the media, the government, Congress, Senate, judges, prosecutors, nobody should be giving up anything on them. This guy is supposed to be in jail already. This is dereliction of duty of Congress. It's a dereliction of duty because what they have now done is found a way for a criminal to commit crimes and commit them again. That's There's nowhere in the Constitution where it says that the American people are supposed to put up with that. Where does it say that type of abuse you're supposed to put up with? Where's that written? Where does it say that a felony, a person that's got 30 something felonies can be the president? I mean, how can you interpret from the Constitution that that might be allowed for the country, for a nation to exist? I mean, it's unfathomable. And you know something else? Excuse me. Here's the thing. American people are about to do this, about to take that trip. You've never taken that trip before. Not really. Not in modern times. Not like this. No. And don't let anybody convince you of that. You're about to go on a journey that you've never been on before. Why just accept it so easily? Um, I can understand, about the election. Fair enough. He's the, what did they call it? President elect. But yo, he can still be prosecuted. And you know something? They should stop passing the buck to say it because the last time they said no sitting president can be prosecuted. So that means you won't have another chance. So you have no choice but to prosecute him now, to to give his time now, to sentence him now for the crimes he's already committed. He has to be sentenced now. Any people in the Justice Department, they have to demand that that man goes into prison after being getting his sentencing. Like he has to be stopped by the Justice Department, by the law. That has to be the process. Then let them take it to the Supreme Court. But that man needs some the police he needs to be charged. He needs to be taken into custody. If you ask me, there's no way that he can get a second round without first dealing with the first crimes that he was already prosecuted for. There is no way. American people should not accept that. They shouldn't accept that. So whatever legal means you have, um, you know, folks should try to figure that out. I don't know. I don't think you should believe that what people typically think, because the people that did all the typical thinking are the ones that allowed him to be in this position in the first place. That's not cool. So I don't think the American people should just buy the fact that there's nothing they can do, that they just have to sit by and watch it. No, I don't think so. And if you sit by and watch this, then you are definitely okay with being bullied out of your civil rights, period. Because that's just what happened to you. You got robbed, finagled, bullied, harassed, threatened, you know, and maligned into some shit. And if you you know I don't think this situation is as good as people think. I don't think it's going to go smoothly. You have to figure out where you're going to take your stand. And if you're thinking that you're going to take the stand, a stronger stand once Trump is the president, you're a goddamn liar. That's not going to happen. And that means you will be asking the American people to sit back for 4 years and possibly watch some of the worst, most heinous crimes and acts happen day after day after day. Yeah. Whew. In any case, y'all, that's what I needed to get off my chest. Um, Let me know what you think. I mean, I don't. I think this is just going along with the same old dumbass program, to be honest. And again, don't rely on the fact that that the experts know exactly what to do, can tell you exactly what to do, or tell you, oh, you can only do this or you can't do anything. Don't rely on that, because those are the same people that got folks into this mess in the first place. Congress allowed, Congress, who gets your tax dollars, allowed crimes to happen. And then now they are going along with more crimes to happen against the American people. That is a direct attack on the American people. Just the fact that they get support from Congress um, doesn't mean that it's not a crime, you see, and that the victims won't be the American people. The primary victims will be the American people on this one. So I don't know how people can feel comfortable in that situation, but it's got to be akin to uh, people waiting for their slaughter, pretty much sitting back and just being told, wait for your slaughter, wait for your slaughter. Sorry, something ain't right, y'all. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. So, yeah. In any case, peace, y'all. Hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, I don't know what else to say on that one, but one, peace.